Okay. Hey, everybody. This is 𝗍𝗵𝗂𝘶, Field President with Powur. We're excited to have you here tonight. We appreciate your time. We value it. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope you all had a great holiday. And what we're going to cover tonight, it's a little special night tonight because we're launching some new markets. But we're going to talk about who we are, the model that we've built that's changing the solar industry, the solution that we provided for this industry that has not adopted, why you should join our company, leverage this platform that's changing the solar industry, and hopefully join us tonight, be a part of our company. Our company was founded in 2014 by Jonathan Budd. For my money, one of the brightest young CEOs on the planet. Jonathan made millions of dollars in his 20s, took a trip to the rainforest with Jim Bunch, who you can also Google. And Jonathan had a vision for a better world, a cleaner world. And we started this public benefit corporation, which is a unique type of company to move forward the adoption of clean energy. And of course, solar is the first part of that. If you look at our company, and thanks to Andrea Budd, who's still looking down on us, we love her to pieces. We put together an extraordinary management team. These are people that have run companies, $20, $30 million companies, ran divisions of major companies, from support to expansion to solar training to procurement to our economic leaders. I mean, we really have established an extraordinary backbone, which is important to any great company. If you're going to be $1 billion publicly traded company, you better have some talent on your executive team. And we're not only blessed with great talent in the field, but we're blessed with great talent on the executive team, and we're friends. So if you look at the timeline, starting in the rainforest, we partnered up with the largest solar company in the world. I've got 80 of their panels on my roof from Tesla, and we outgrew them. We knew their model was broken. We signed contracts with 100 of the top solar companies in the United States, and we knew that wasn't the future. We went online to start talking about our model. We raised more money than any company at that time in the history of the world, 1.4 million in just a few weeks. And our membership, our paid subscribers, grew to over 5,000 people who believed in a better, cleaner world. What happened in the first quarter of last year was we created the only revenue share, transparent revenue share model in the entire solar industry. And that really drove us to hit the Inc. 5000 list as one of the top 1,000 fastest growing companies in the United States of America. I'm confident that we'll hit the top 100 this coming year coming up. So it's been an extraordinary ride. What does that mean to you? You're catching a company with a track record, 6 years track record, one of the fastest growing companies in the United States of America, and no one's heard of us yet. And that's a pretty cool combination from my seat. I think what sets us apart, I spent 8 years in nonprofit cancer work, is just the backbone of our values and who we are. We serve our community. We serve man and womankind. If it's not good for the world, we won't do it, but we get shit done. Make no mistake about it. But there's a purpose here. 100% of the emissions that we create through the panel, the delivery of those panels, the trucks that put them on the roof, we offset planting trees around the world. It's very important to our core mission of who we are and what we stand for. The father of renewable energy said that if you want to change things, don't try and fight the existing reality. The solar model is broken. It's never worked. Look at the numbers. Build a new model that makes the old model obsolete. And we'll talk about all the companies that have changed industries that have done just that. There is no debate. There's a very clear path towards change, and we are creating that change. Our business model is really very simple. We believe that the customer's got to get an extraordinary value and experience, but that you, the seller, whether you come from solar or you're a novice to solar, that you're the most valuable person in the equation, and you deserve to get a fair and equitable reimbursement as if you owned your own solar company, because that's the fair way to do it. If you look at the old model of solar, somebody takes a job for a solar company. They're really selling their future away. The commissions are smaller. There's really no support. There's no passive income. There's nothing residual about it. There's no equity. There's no ownership. I've never looked at anything that didn't have those principles. It's just not how I'm built. There's nothing scalable about those companies. That's why they're not scaling, at least profitably. In our model, you're selling for yourself. You make more money than if you owned your own solar company. We have the most lucrative seller commissions in the industry, daily training in English and Spanish, ownership opportunities, scalable technology. We're a tech company. We were spending $100,000 a month building proprietary software that no one in the world has. We just hired a data scientist. Now, Who does that in the solar industry? Because we're capturing data, we're looking at things that no one has ever looked at before. And that's how we're changing the game. You know, if you look at what we're doing here, it's not that different than all the companies around us have done when they've changed industry. So just going off the slide here for a moment, folks, just draw a circle around your life, nothing fancy. Let's talk about the big ones. Transportation, Uber, Lyft. Let's talk about travel. Obviously, it has changed the game. EXP in real estate. If you look at Costco, I mean, who's not shopping in Costco or a buyer's club? Amazon has changed the world in almost everything that we buy. And I'm reminded of companies recently like Peloton that have taken online working out. So if working out, exercise, transportation, travel, real estate, food, all the essentials around your life have completely transitioned, completely being dominated by online versions, taking over industries of standard for 10 or 20 years, decades. And the new technology, the new software, the new online presence, if you sprinkle COVID on top of that the world has shifted online for the foreseeable next 6 months to a year, it just puts us in an extraordinary position. You know, a wise person once told me that the greatest indicator of future performance is past performance. Look at the Tiger Woods, look at the Michael Jordans, look at the people who changed the game, look at the Bill Gateses of the world, look at the Jonathan Budds of the world. We have changed markets already. And if you look at the people that joined our company, our leaders are the top 1%, 1/10 of 1% income earners in the United States of America in any industry, much less the solar industry, earning up to 6 figures per month, winning a Tesla, earning stock. No one's ever seen this in the solar industry before, and we are honored to be the ones to bring it to you. This is a very special night for us because we're launching 3 additional markets. So, man, that doesn't happen every day. The ability to be on the ground floor, if you think about what our top earners are making in California, in Texas, in Florida, as we scale markets as a general contractor, this is a very unique opportunity. Not only if you live there, not only if you know people there, but to go online, to go on LinkedIn and Facebook as I teach and make connections in these markets. You can build and own and override and benefit and contribute to man and womankind in markets all over the United States if you're willing to put forth that effort. The gentleman who's going to speak to you now exemplifies that. Charles Thompson lived in Texas and built Texas. You see his pad out on the beach now. He's building from Southern California. I know he's had an eye on Florida in the past. I don't know what's going to happen there. But Charles represents the very best that we could attract, the established top 1% of the solar pros in the United States of America, having owned, run, and built companies. I kidded about his military background. He works at an extraordinary pace. But most of us know him just because of the integrity, the leadership. I know him as a dad and a great guy, and we become great friends. I'm on the corporate side. Charles is 100% on the commissional side, just like all of you. And he is a liaison to the corporate side and puts a lot of his time, efforts, and income on the side to help the company become better at the same time. So on these holiday times, it's a great, it's great to be able to introduce a friend and field leader and our colleague, Mr. Charles Thompson. Charles, you have the ball.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Honored to be here with you. The friendship and the camaraderie and the mentorship that Bobby's provided me it's irreplaceable. It's changed my life. So thank you, Bobby. For each of you, want to at least put some context into what this opportunity is about. You've got to understand our market share. We are a residential focused solar company, single family residential. And with that, there's 130 million single family homes in the United States. 90 million of those are eligible for zero down solar, which is our primary offering. 3 million and change have gone solar. So you got still 87 plus million. Market share of roughly 2.5%, 3%, depending how you do the math. And markets like California that have been really dominating solar for the past decade still only have anywhere from 8% to 14% market share, virtually still untapped. If you look at it, it's a sold product. It's not a bought product. Products that are bought are something that has tendency of having a minimum 15 to 25% market share. So you get years and years to a decade of market share that's available. What's driving it is the fact that it is zero down, where homeowners can flip rather than renting energy from the monopolized utility to owning their own power plant on their roof or in their backyard. Save money immediately, increase the value of their home, lock in that cost of energy so they never worry about the rising cost. And then once they pay off the loan, or if they paid cash, all of the energy that's produced from that system is free to them from that point forward. That's true control and predictability. It's not what you can get with utilities. The utility rates have doubled on average every 10 to 12 years. In California, significantly faster than that, just by example. What we get access to through the platform is called a cost of goods model. It's a new term. It's not something that this industry has ever used before. And you're going to hear some other terms like kilowatts and that type of thing. If you don't know those terms, don't worry. Just really look at the dollars that go along with that, because that's essentially what it does. So we create income, but we create impact by having, or create income by having tremendous impact. And our cost of goods model in the market you can hear about tonight, this is the average. It's $1.75. Or if you look at a 10 kW system, which is a good size system, fairly common, the wholesale cost would be $17,500. That's what we get access to. When I owned my own solar company, I couldn't get access to the cost of goods that I can get access through Powur, without having the headaches, without having to run my own company, without having all the liability insurance, without having to have facilities and crews and insurance and all of the other things that go along with it. And you'll hear what that cost is here in just a few minutes. Sold at $35,000. And there were some adders like financing and electrical work that had to be done to the home to get it up to code. But the net revenue is really the focus here, $10,500. And we as consultants, sales reps, get 70% of the revenue. A traditional solar company, it's inverted. In this case, Powur gets 30%, but if you work for a traditional company, it's the other way around. So Powur recognizes, in the slide that showed, the most important person in the company is you, the independent consultant. And that's where the seller goes. The seller commission on average is over $7,000 on this particular project, $7,350. With that, what do we offer? We offer the homeowner a standard warranty, which is better than most companies offer, but I'll show you what's even better in here in a moment. 25-year output guarantee of the panels, up to 25 years on the inverters, a 10-year workmanship warranty, and a 5-year roof penetration warranty. That's pretty good peace of mind. Well, in addition to that, we have an optional warranty, which offers the homeowner complete peace of mind, covers all parts and labor for 30 full years. It's an easy registration, 24/7 coverage, and if they sell the home, it automatically transfers to the new homeowner. This is the new standard for the industry, and that comes at a slight additional cost to the homeowner. We just pack it into the monthly fee. We give them the complete peace of mind, control, and predictability. When you start doing what you do, you likely are going to really start talking about it and sharing it and talking to others about it, because it's just such a great business to be in, creating impact and income. You share that with others. What Powur does is they take and set aside half of that 30% that they take, and they give it back to the field. The first way to do that is if you refer anybody directly aligned to you. So anyone you directly refer, you're going to receive 20% of Powur's revenue. That does not take away from your 70%. That comes out of Powur's revenue. Some of those people are going to do the same thing. They're going to share. When I started my company into Powur, I rolled it into Powur. I made an opportunity for all my consultants to come on board with Powur and make more money than I could ever pay them as an owner myself. They went on, some of them went on and built an organization, small team, and they're getting passive income. This is where it begins. So as those people refer, then you have what's called leveraged revenue share, and it goes down 6 tiers, levels, generations, whatever term you want to use. And it breaks out like this. Anyone you directly refer, you get 20% of the revenue that Powur brings in. On average, that's $550. If they refer somebody, you're still going to get a referral fee of $275 on average. And then as those people refer, as those people refer, and those people refer, down as many as 6 levels or generations, you continue to get overrides for the success that these people have. But it starts with building an organization that's wide. And that's really all you have to worry about. And just by nature, it's going to create duplication. It's not like you have to go out and build this massive team. You just keep building your front line and coaching and training those people to do well, and you'll be compensated extremely well. It's very similar to eXp Realty, Bobby mentioned them as one of the fastest growing real estate companies in the world. Prudential Insurance, Aflac Insurance, Keller Williams, and I mean, all of those. Think about what they are. They're very successful companies who have dominated industries, and they've done so by creating a leveraged revenue share program or profit share program like Powur has done. That's as simple as it is. And it's been a successful model, and we just made it even more successful. Speaking of success, which really has led down a path of success, is our mentorship program, one that you can gradually lean into and become a mentor. But when you first get started, you might say, look, I know nothing about solar. What do I need to do? Well, you choose a mentor inside our platform, and basically you split the commission 50-50. They do all the work in selling it. You learn from them as they sell it. And your first 3 projects with this program are with a mentor. If you have solar experience, that can be waived. You have to submit a resume and really know that you have the experience level to do this on your own and represent it properly. Then it's your first solar project. But the reason for this program for anybody is to learn how to leverage a platform, learn how to understand the technology rather than skinning your shins and stubbing your toes and making mistakes. You get help doing that. You get paid really well. In fact, this 50 split is more than most companies pay out for the entire commission. Powur believes so much in the benefit of rewarding consultants and mentors that this compensation plan is unlike anything I've ever seen. The icing on the cake is the equity that each of us get access to with success. Your first install, you get 50 stock options. You enroll someone, they get 50 stock options, you get 25 stock options. That's rewarding you for creating that duplication. And as you hit minimum performance goals of 25 years, 25 installs in a calendar year, 500 options, 50 in a calendar year, that's 1 a week, basically, 2,500 options. And since you're part of Powur before Powur goes public, you get the ability to purchase discounted options once Powur does go public. What does all that mean? I ran 2 of the nation's largest solar companies that came from energy. And one was a $17 billion company. One was a $14 billion company. There's another company out there, it was rescued by Tesla, a $6 billion company. Collectively, think about that, close to $40 billion in revenue. None of them could figure out how to scale an operation and be profitable in the solar industry. Powur is the first to come in and scale and be profitable and have the lowest cost of goods in the industry. What is it going to mean when Powur goes public? I think it's generational changing wealth, even if you only have a couple thousand options of stock. That's my opinion. I'm not a stockbroker. I'm not an option. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a CPA. I'm just sharing you my personal thoughts. What's exciting is what we are now starting to do, which is to go back into growth mode. We're now starting to get press releases throughout the country as we open up 3 new markets here: Colorado, Nevada, and the Carolinas. Well, if you look at that, so here's our map. All of these markets are now covered by Powur as a general contractor. Why that's significant is Powur has complete control of the relationship from the time you make the introduction all the way to where we call glass on the roof, where the panels are activated and the homeowners now on solar. In the blue markets, they're already applied for licensing in all of these markets, as well as the East Coast and some of the central markets in the US. In 2021, we'll go back into rapid growth. But the first thing was to get the general contractor model nailed. And why that's important to us is that installs are faster and money is better. That's all there is to it, because Powur doesn't have a lot of middleman or middle women in there. We are the ones who get the lion's share of the benefit of having that lower cost of goods. So it's really exciting to see us going into that growth mode. And I know that the best is ahead, because each of these markets we've applied, and more of those are going to be becoming general contractor. Then we can go back into growth mode. The technology that Bobby mentioned is unlike anything I've experienced in nearly a decade in this industry, actually over a decade in this industry. Real-time proposals. You put a couple of pieces of information into the platform: name, address, phone number, email address, copy of an electric bill, a couple of miscellaneous questions. You're done in 30 seconds. You get back a link to a dynamic proposal. You don't have to have any experience in design. It's all done for you. And I'll show you some examples of that in just a few minutes. And from that, you can request credit checks. You can request documents. Then it goes to Powur. They manage all of the projects under one roof. So if you're selling in 20 states or more, you're not worried about dealing with different companies or anything like that. It's all done under one roof. Powur handles all of the accounting, the operations, the commissions. One of the greatest things that I found when I rolled my company into Powur is I didn't have to pay commissions anymore. It's all handled through Powur. You'd have to pay a CPA to handle that stuff. And we get to do that just by leveraging the platform. We get paid every day, Monday through Sunday. When funds hit and things are processed, we get paid 7 days a week. And if you're building a team, small, medium, large organization, whatever the case may be, we get paid team commissions every Friday. That's the mailbox money. I love that Friday morning text. This is what a little bit of a snippet of what you get access to. This is a dynamic design tool. And you can see there's panels that are in red and in green. The ones that are in red, I just click, 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 and you remove them. That means they're not part of the final design. The green are what you've decided are the best producing panels that are in the market. Not only can you choose that, but then you can choose what type of panels. You have a wide array of panels and inverters. You may say, well, how do I know what ones to use? That's what the mentorship program will help you with. You'll be able to see exactly what is best for that particular application. What I love talking to a homeowner about is I don't work for a solar company. I don't work for a lender. I don't work for a manufacturer. Most traditional solar reps are carrying one bag of tricks, right? They got one panel that they use, one inverter that they use, and they're going to tell you what the company wants them to tell you. I'm going to find out what's best for you. I'm going to interview you. I'm going to go through your needs analysis, and I'm going to provide you with the best overall solution for you. Not what my company wants, but what's best for you. And through all of this, this is what you have complete transparency and visibility of every penny that takes place in the platform. I've never seen a company with transparency. I kind of jokingly say we pulled the pants down in the industry, we exposed it for what it is, and there's no turning back because now people know exactly what we're doing and rolling out the cost of goods. Then I said, I don't work for one lender. You get access to all of the lenders we have on our platform. The two most popular are LoanPal and Sunlight. In some markets, we have Sunnova, we have PACE funding. We're interviewing lenders. What's interesting over the last couple of years, where we were the ones being vetted by lenders, we're now vetting lenders because we want to make sure they're financially solvent enough to hold all that paper, the millions and millions of dollars that we're going to provide for them. That's what's super cool for each of us consultants, is know that that's what's happened with Powur and the growth and the record-breaking, industry staggering revenues that we're producing. Then you get, and the final commission looks a little prettier than this. It's, got colors to it, but this just gives you an idea. This is a cost of a deal that one of my very close mentees at one point created, and it was sold at a low cost. If you know these numbers, this is a really low cash price. Even with that, and the total cost, that was a cost of $1.66 a watt, lower than what I just reflected to you. I always prefer to undercommit and over deliver in terms of cost, but a $9,000 commission on a relatively, decent sized system, but really low cost. That's just an example of what you get access to. With that, we'll wrap up. We'll take questions, but I want to recap the most important points. The 70-30 split that we get as consultants with the cost of goods, the equity ownership, and the 6-level revenue share if you desire to build a team. One of the coolest things about Powur is you don't have to, but who doesn't want passive income? The lifestyle that this has afforded me in just 2 years of us having this platform, you can't see it over my shoulder now, but it gives you some indication of the potential that's there. And what I do is the same thing I ask you to do. I sell solar. I mentor other people to sell solar. And I've built up now what's approaching a mid three-quarters of a mid six-figure passive income, rapidly approaching $1 million in passive income a year. That's if I choose to sell or not sell. That just gives you an indication of what's potential. Doesn't happen overnight. There's no get rich quick schemes or anything like that. It takes hard work, commitment. But if you follow the path that we lay out for you, it's readily achievable. And with that, what's the cost? The cost is a very minimal onboarding fee of $99 that gets you access to all the initial training. We then pay for the technology. That's what we're accessing. It's a platform. We're accessing a technology. Powur's operating on 15% of our revenue. We're operating on 70% plus 15% rev share. We pay for the technology. We just hired, I believe, 6 new engineers coming on board. I can only imagine what this technology is going to do in the coming years. We have 10,000 people paying $50 a month to finance that advanced technology. I don't think there's going to be another place you can go in this industry, and we're going to grow throughout every major market that's viable for solar as we know it today. So we are speaking with two audiences today. Those who are live, and you're going to get an opportunity to ask your questions, and those who are listening to the recorded version. Those of you who listen to the recorded version, get back to whoever sent you this video, get your final questions answered, jump on the train, become a consultant, work through our mentorship program. And if you have a home, go solar for your home. Obviously, you could go solar at the lowest price possible to you. So I'm going to pause the recording here and come back to our live audience and stand by.